man who has been making difference in the Indian television industry from Surbhi in Doordarshan to directing episodes of CID, Ahat and Guturgu to name a few. We have with us director and writer Prabal Baruah. Hello sir.
Hello, good evening.
Sir, at the very offset, I'd like to know a bit about the movie Strawberry Point. How did the ideation of a movie as such come up to be?
Actually, Strawberry Plan, it just happened accidentally, It was just, one of those days when you suddenly get an idea out of the blue. Probably when you're lying down in a couch, having a cup of coffee, or you take a stroll, and you chat, and you get this idea. So Strawberry Point was not really planned. It just happened because one fine day I got this idea about this, one actor, one character story being told in limited locations, which I came and shared with Karan, who's my co-producer in Buddy Films and has also been a friend and a colleague for a long time. So Karan quite liked the idea. It's a very interesting, very different idea, but then we'll write it, because that was just an idea. There was no script. And it's also a challenge to write a single character. I mean, to make a short film is one thing, but to make a full-length feature is another thing. So conversation started and led from one conversation to another conversation, and then one fine day, so I said that I narrated him the story and said, "Would you like to do it?" He said, "Who would like to do it? Because मतलब मैं ही मैं हूँ पूरा film में. It's like a show reel. Any actor would give his arm and leg and everything for that." I said, "Yeah, but there's a condition." I said, "What? You have to do it for free." Being a friend, I could take the liberty of saying that because to begin with, I didn't have a finance. I had no producer, nothing. So I said, if you work for free, then between you and me, the writer, director, actor, and singer is taken care of. So it actually started as an experiment. It was the idea. We didn't know whether it's going to be a full-length feature film, and we're going to release it commercially, bring it to festival. It was actually like a exercise. We just started, and then things fell into place one after another.
So, which brings us to the next question. So, what kind of complications can arise while filming a movie, a one character movie?
Lots actually, because a single actor film or a single location film are not conventional films storytelling. So when you tell a story, there are multiple characters. You have you have a protagonist, you have a set of lead, and then the supporting cast. That's how stories are told, or that's how movies are made. You have many locations over different time frame and space. So there's a grammar for telling a story. There's a format. You know how a story is told, right? With main tracks and parallel tracks. But single character doesn't follow all those rules. It's so as we set on making the film, then I realized that this is difficult because, like for example, if I have to simplify and give an example of, like, when you write a story or when you make a film, whether it be a short film or a full length film, you are making a lot of there are a lot of actors, so you have a close up of somebody, a close up of another, there's a two shot, there's a wide shot. So taking care of continuity becomes easy. For example, taking care of time jump becomes easy. Taking care of small flaws get covered up. Like, say, suppose if I give a wrong expression, I can put your close up, for instance. A lot of things can, but you can't do all those things. Even for an actor, especially the emotion, the look continuity and stuff, like the mood continuity becomes really difficult. So there are lots of things. Also, it creates a fatigue because you get tired of watching the same person. Like, if I put a camera here and I roll it, you don't want to keep on watching the curtain or this frame for a long time. It's not like that, but it's because there's no variation. On top of that, you didn't have the usual ingredients of a Bollywood film. There was no song, there was no dance, there was no action, there's no fight, there's no comedy, nothing. So yeah, endless.
So, thank you for that. And uh, so you have directed episodes of CID, which usually takes in one take. The shot is usually taken in one take. And as a director, what are the things that you must watch out for?
Okay, I must mention that CID is basically the creation of Mr. BP Singh. He's the creator, he's the writer, director, producer, the man who conceptualized CID and Ahad. I happen to be one of the episodic directors because CID ran for many years. So when you run a show for many years, as a bi-weekly or a tri-weekly, then you need a panel of directors. So I'm actually one of the directors, so I can't take the credit of saying it's my show, but having said so, yes, I've written and directed many episodes of CID. There was a single short episode which was done in CID. You're right, it had qualified to the Guinness Book of World Record, but that was shot by BP Singh, you know so that was done long time back. It was not done by me. So yeah, I mean, if I have to speak on his behalf, a single shot is equally or probably more difficult than a single character, because there is no room for retake, there's no room for cut. You can keep on rehearsing, there's no room for anything, because it's like a play. You cannot stop and say, hey, let me correct it.
Let's talk a bit about OTT culture. This is taking everyone by a storm right now. So, do you think OTT is going to replace the mainstream cinema, or like, is it just going to be another alternate form?
I personally believe it's not going to replace, it will keep on changing, things will keep on evolving, things will change to fit into the current scenario. Like, for example, there was a time when home videos had come, which VCPs and VCRs, videos that come. So at that point of time, it seemed like they will replace cinema halls, and a lot of in small town cinema halls has actually shut shop, because suddenly there is this novelty. You can actually watch a movie in the comfort of your bedroom or a drawing room, and you can watch again and again. You can pause and watch. So that was a novelty. That was like a toy. So people were really excited. But then cinema halls didn't shut. It was way back in the 80s and they continue. In fact, now it has taken the industry by storm. There are PVRs and multiplexes and multiple multiplexes, So movies continue. It didn't stop. Then when television came, people stopped listening to radios, people there was a time when people actually won't have a transistor in the house. It ceased to exist. But then with FM radios back, there's a radio everywhere. You have radio in your car, your house, wherever, in your cell phone. There's a radio everywhere. People keep on listening. You have CDs and you can download music. So it's so easy. But still you listen to radio. Why? Because the charm of radio is very different from listening to music on a laptop or a sound system. So I don't think OTT is going to replace anybody, anything, So probably the way we view cinema or the kind of cinema that we watch in a movie theater might change, um, but I don't think it's going to replace anyone, anybody, any medium.
So, any word of advice to the upcoming film directors or upcoming film producers who are trying hard to gain a recognition in this field?
Uh, um, Look, to me, look, I came into into this field, or I became a filmmaker or a director or writer purely for the love of it, and for me, it's completely passion driven. So yeah, having said so, you require passion for everything. You require passion to become a doctor. You require passion to become an engineer. You require passion to become a painter. So passion is given. You have to have a passion. Even to become a teacher, you have to have a passion. So there's no doubt. So when people keep on saying you need passion, you need passion, I would say that passion is required. Even a sportsman needs to have passion. That is given for anything. But there, it's a uphill road, unlike other profession. It has lots of ups and down, in most of conventional career, like if you become an engineer or a doctor or a magistrate or whatever, life is a little predictable, and it's set, and you know how you're going to move. Here life is full of surprises. You have to be prepared with for the surprises. You can have the highs and you can have the lows, and you can have a huge lull moment. So if you want to become a filmmaker or a director, in whether it be television or OTT or whatever, basically the world is the same. You have to be really, your drive for it has to be really high, and you have to be prepared for all kinds of surprises in life. Every day is a new day. You cannot be comfortable. The moment you want to get comfortable, then you are not made for this industry.
Sir, thank you so much for spending your time with us. So, with this, we come to the end of this interview with camera person Zikim. This is Amlan for EastMojo. Thank you.